Welcome to The Explainer. So today, we're digging into a really innovative model, one that's designed to bridge a critical gap in our education system. It's all about connecting what corporations are doing with what students are learning in the classroom, all to build a greener future.
You know, this quote right here, it really gets to the heart of the problem we're exploring. It's a simple question, but it's a powerful one. How can we possibly expect students to really get sustainability if the very school they're in doesn't actually practice it?
And that's where we run into this thing. You could call it a sustainability learning gap. It's this huge disconnect where, environmental ed might be taught from a textbook, which makes it feel like just another abstract subject, not a living, breathing part of a kid's world.
So what's holding schools back? Well, the hurdles are pretty much what you'd expect, but they're significant. Schools are almost always running on tight budgets. And teachers, as amazing as they are, aren't always experts in sustainability. That makes launching these kinds of real, practical projects a massive challenge.
So how do you actually fix something like that? Well, today we're looking at a program called Ecoactio. It's built on a model that basically acts as a bridge, connecting the resources of the corporate world with the real-world needs of our schools.
Now, check this out. What's really cool is how the logo itself kind of tells the whole story. You see the earth embedded inside a mind, right? That symbolizes knowledge. And then inside that, you've got the silhouette of a child, representing the next generation. It's all about planting these ideas early for the future.
Okay, so let's break it down. What is it exactly? Think of Ecoactio as a pipeline. It's a really structured program that's designed to take corporate ESG funds, that's environmental, social, and governance, and channel them directly into hands-on, super impactful sustainability projects for students.
And look, this is way more than just, planting a couple of trees and calling it a day. The program is built around this whole comprehensive step-by-step journey for the entire school. So, how does this actually unfold for a school? Let's take a look.
So the program is broken down into these 7 distinct phases. It kicks off with the basics, like getting a student-led eco-council together and doing a big audit of the school's environmental footprint. Then it moves into really tangible stuff. For waste and circularity, for instance, students might launch a school-wide composting system, or maybe even design a project to turn plastic waste into new benches for the playground. And the best part is the final step, which makes sure these lessons actually stick by weaving them right into the curriculum itself.
Okay, but for a model this ambitious to really work, it needs some serious fuel to make it go. And in this case, that engine is corporate partnership. It's the juice that makes the whole system run.
Which, of course, brings up the big question, doesn't it? Why would a business invest its money in a local school's sustainability program? What's the actual return on that investment for them?
And this is the answer. It's a genuine win-win. For the corporate partners, they get real, measurable data for their ESG reports. They build very visible trust right there in their local communities. And they get these powerful, authentic stories to tell about their impact. Plus, it opens up ways for their own employees to get involved through volunteering. And, crucially, it helps them line up their actions with the big UN Sustainable Development Goals.
The financial side of it is pretty smart too. It's structured in these accessible tiers. A company can jump in as a foundation sponsor to just help a school get started. Or they can fund the core program, which focuses on the areas with the highest impact. And for those that want to go all in, they can sponsor a school's entire year-long transformation. It makes corporate support really flexible and targeted.
So the big takeaway here is that this model isn't just about one-off donations. It's really designed to be a scalable system for creating lasting change. This could be a real shift in corporate responsibility, moving away from just simple charity toward a more strategic, symbiotic relationship with community education.
And they have a clear roadmap. The journey is all set to begin with a pilot program in the UK in January 2025. But the ambition here is so much bigger. The whole model is built from the ground up with the idea that it could be franchised and scaled internationally.
When you boil it all down, the ultimate goal is to weave the practice of sustainability so deep into the school experience that it just becomes second nature for the next generation. It's about building an environmental mindset that's just as fundamental as learning to read and write. And that leaves us with this one last really powerful thought to chew on. It suggests that if we're truly serious about long-term change, our biggest investments shouldn't just be in new tech or infrastructure, but in the people, the very generation who will inherit and then build the future.